One thing I can't get enough of is how full of themselves these right-wing commentators are. They think they're like the second coming of Christ. Glenn Beck is the perfect example of that. Listen to him talk to his audience about Nelson Mandela.
He could have chosen and said, I'm going to get even. Or he could have just given up, but he didn't. You see, governments fear the individual. That's why governments tell you you can't do it. They fear the individual. They fear the next Nelson Mandela. And I tell you, you are the next Nelson Mandela. You are the next Martin Luther King. You are the next Gandhi. You are the next Abraham Lincoln. You are the next George Washington.
You are the next in line at the scooter store. Most likely if you're a listener to Glenn Beck. You need to take your blood pressure medication at about 5:30. Don't forget. Very important. You need to stop hitting on Gladys at the senior center because your wife Doris is going to find out. You are scared of minorities. That's my guess. If you really listen to Glenn Beck, these things are all totally true. You have probably considered touching yourself to the girls on Fox News, and you need your Social Security check, but you vote for Republicans who are going to cut it. That's the real thing going on here with Glenn Beck's audience. So overall, Glenn, agree to disagree. Because there's no way that the people who listen to you are the next Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King Jr., Gandhi, whoever. What people need to understand is just simply historical facts. Every single one of those people that Glenn Beck named there were liberals. They were liberals who were held back by conservatives. Who do you think it was that Nelson Mandela was fighting against? The Powerpuff Girls? No, he was fighting against the conservative establishment, the racist apartheid government, the right-wing government, and he was trying to get change. Martin Luther King Jr., he was fighting the conservatives. I mean, these are all well-documented, well-known facts. One of the definitions of conservatism is don't change shit. Leave shit exactly like it is. We like it the way it is, so stop. Well, okay, well, if you were a conservative at any point before, the 1965 or even later than that for apartheid, 1990s, right, or even 2000s, well, if you're saying don't change it, you're saying don't change this racist system, I love it. Okay, again, what conservatives need to understand, and it's the oldest conservative trick I've seen, where whenever a progressive comes along and does something overwhelmingly positive, and the conservatives realize they can't argue against it because they look foolish. If you can't beat them, join them. Say, no, I was leading the whole time. I was in favor of it, man. Yeah, exactly. Believe me, believe you me. I'll tell you, if Martin Luther King Jr. was around today, here's who he would love. Rush Limbaugh.